now the next one, right? We have Judge Dale Cohen and Ian Richards. And Judge Dale Cohen is the incumbent in this race. And he's also one of the judges that was involved in, I think he had a case that involved the same-sex marriage. Like he had a same-sex marriage case, right? That went to, why are you shaking your head? Wasn't he involved in that?
Would you say he was involved in what? I'm sorry.
I think one of the same-sex marriage cases, right? Or like either like he had something to do with it, or he was one of the first judges to divorce a same-sex couple or something like that. No?
I don't know.
And I know he talked about he was a super lawyer, but I believe he did have something to do with the marriage cases, I think. All right, so tell me what you know about him, and I'm going to go through my notes again.
All right, so what I know about him is that he is one of the two judges, or one of the two persons who are running for judge who were disciplined by the Florida bar. Now, his case is even more, to me, it's more egregious than his Bailey's case. He was also accused of and convicted of misconduct as a judge. And just like Dennis Bailey, he was reprimanded, allowed to keep his position. In his particular case, it had something to do with his wife, where his wife, he called his wife as a witness in a case. It's very involved, it's very intricate. I don't remember all the details, but the manner in which he conducted himself, to me, was even more egregious than what happened with Judge Bailey. To me, he's definitely a no. I voted for his opponent already, Ian Richards. Ian was I think Ian is the first Caribbean American judge to ever be elected to the Broward bench.
Yeah, and then the people started running against him, and then he ran for re-election, and so they ran against him, and he lost his seat the last time, and he's running again. And he also has a little claim to fame, right? Ian Richards was the judge that there was a domestic case in front of him, right. And the person tried to fight the woman like in the courtroom, and he jumped over the bench, right, and went and protected this victim in his courtroom, and it made like international news. So and it was like instinct. It was on instinct. He saw that sister, about to be abused in his courtroom, and he came to her defense in front of everyone, right, in the courtroom. Didn't even think twice about it, right? And that's kind of, huh?
Where was the bailiff?
Where was everybody? There was an attorney sitting next to this woman, and he jumped over. I mean, he literally didn't even walk around the bench. He literally jumped over the table down to the ground to go and protect this woman. And she had an attorney on one side of her. It was a bailiff. It was a whole bunch of people in that courtroom. He had to jump off that bench, and as soon as he saw it, he jumped off that bench and to defend her. So I mean, that alone right there is respectful, because he didn't even. That's like a selfless act. That's an absolute, because I've been in courtrooms where things kind of weren't looking good, and the judge got scared, and she literally, they have a door next to their bench that they could walk into and avoid the whole courtroom. So I've seen situations get testy in the courtroom, and instead of the judge confronting it, they go to their back door, get in, and just listen, y'all handle whatever's happening out there. I don't want to be a part of that. So I think that was definitely, heroic, a great thing on his part, and it speaks to his character and who it is. And I know, and I've seen panels with both of them, and Judge Cohen is one of the ones, he always talks about how he's a super lawyer, and he's certified, board certified trial lawyer or civil cases and all of these different types of things. And let me tell you how he answered his discipline issue. They said, have you ever been disciplined? He says, yes. He said, in 2009, I was disciplined by the Florida Supreme Court for holding a hearing where a lawyer requested that I disqualify myself from a case. He said, I granted this motion, but held a 5-minute hearing on the matter, as he was claiming in his motion that there was an argument between him and my wife. I intended to simply clear the air at the time. It was my understanding that I could legally and ethically hold that hearing based on case law and a class I took at Judicial College 3 years prior when I became a judge. I was incorrect, and the action violated the judicial canons. In the court's ruling, they issued a reprimand and stated that although I had violated the canon, that I had a reputation as a smart and conscientious judge, that I would not repeat the action as it was a one-time incident. Since that time, I have served Broward County with no further ethical violations. I regretted my actions that day and apologized at the time. That's how he explained it.
dude, that's the only action you got caught for. That's all that. I mean, when you show up to court with a black defendant and you tell them, listen, this is first time offense, you know what the response is from the prosecution? That's the first time your defendant got caught doing whatever it is he was doing.
Right, exactly.
That's the same thing I say to you, the same thing that you would say to a black defendant. And I mean, you don't have to be a lawyer, judge to know that you don't call your wife as a witness in a case where the person is saying something about your wife. Like, come on, dude. Really?
And you know, that was like, you was mad, like, why you talking about my wife, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just supposed to just be like, I can't get involved in this because it don't look good.
Intimidating is that if you're on the other side, that the judge is calling the person that you are that you complained about, who happens to be the judge's wife, as a witness. So,
yeah.
Nah.
So, that's the story, and he's sticking to it. All right, so we talking about go ahead. Yeah, so that's an easy button too. Group 30 is Ian, Ian Richards. Yes. And Ian is really sharp. Like, I mean, he's a really smart guy too. Not that, we got to say, he's smart, but he definitely, I believe he's qualified for the position. He went to University of Miami Law School. He's been a member of the Florida Bar for 18 years. He's a member of the Florida Bar, 70% criminal, civil cases, 30% criminal. And he talks about how he has community involvement. He's a mentor. He does a lot of work with special needs children. He's a member of the Rotary Club. He's a mentor with Father's Heart. And he's president of some homeowners association. So he does some stuff with his church, Bethel AME, that type of thing. So a lot of community involvement, and no issues with the bar.